Good evening, children, and welcome back to my class once again. Yes, without wasting time, children, let's start with degrees of comparison. Yes, degrees of comparison. In which case do we do degrees of comparison? That is, in case of adjectives. Yes, adjectives. And what is an adjective? Noun. When we describe a noun, it is called an adjective. Right? Now, let's begin. Let's start. Strong, stronger, strongest. Now, strong is positive degrees, stronger is comparative degree, and strongest is superlative degree. Now, children, I just want to tell you that adjective has adjective is having three kinds of degrees. What are they? They are positive degree, it is positive degrees, it is comparative degree, and superlative degree. What is this positive degree? Positive degree is when we do not compare a person or a thing with anyone. When we do not compare a person or a thing with anyone, that moment it is called a comparative, a positive degree, right? For example, Ramu is a strong boy. For example, Ramu is a strong boy. In that case, we are not comparing Ramu with anyone else, right? We are not comparing Ramu with anyone else. Rather, we are saying that Ramu is a strong boy. Now, this is called positive degree because we are not comparing Ramu with someone, with anybody else. Now, if I will say comparative. For example, if I will say Ramu is stronger than Rahul. If I will say Ramu is stronger than Rahul, it means that I am comparing Ramu with Rahul. Okay, I am comparing Ramu with Rahul. When there is a comparison between two persons or things, then it is called comparative degree. It is called comparative degree because I am comparing Ramu with Rahul. So I am saying Ramu is stronger than Rahul. Okay, now if I will say that Vishal is the strongest person, Vishal is the strongest person, or Vishal is the strongest one than Ramu and Rahul, it means that I am comparing Ramu with other two, someone other two, or I am comparing Vishal with other two, that is Ramu and Rahul. That is more than two person, more than one person. So remember, children, when you compare any person more than when you are comparing one person or more than two persons or things, then it is called superlative degree. This is called superlative degree. Strongest is the superlative degree. Why? Because I am comparing Vishal with Ramu and Rahul. Why? Because I am comparing one, when we are comparing one person with more than two persons, then it is called superlative degree. Now, why stronger is a comparative degree? Because I'm comparing Ramu with Rahul. Okay, I'm comparing two persons together. I'm comparing two persons, so it is called comparative degree. Why it is positive degree? Why strong is the positive degree? Because I'm not comparing Ramu with anybody else, so that is called positive degree, comparative degree, and then it comes superlative degree. Okay, now moving on to the next part, let me tell you, children, we have got three types of degrees: positive, comparative, superlative. You already know. Now, when in case of comparative, we use ER. In case of comparative, we use ER. We add ER to the positive word. For example, tall, taller. Okay, short, shorter, old, older, young, younger, fast, faster. So we are using ER. We are using ER to the positive degrees in case of this degrees of comparison. We are using positive ER with positive degrees. Okay. Now we can use superlative when we are comparing more than two-person. When more than two-person is compared or thing is compared, we are using EST. We will add EST to the comparative degree. For example, tall, taller, tallest. Okay. Then short, shorter, shortest. Okay. Now, old, older, oldest. Young, younger, youngest. Fast, faster, fastest. Okay, so here we are using EST to make it more to compare more, that is the highest degree of comparison, a superlative degree. In that case, we are using EST. In case of comparative, we are using ER. And in case of positive, since we do not compare with anyone, we do not use anything. It remains as it is. The adjectives remains as it is. For tall, taller, tallest, short, shorter, shortest, old, older, oldest, young, younger, youngest, fast, faster, fastest. So this is called positive, comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. Now, next one is, children, remember, if positive degree of comparison ends with the alphabet E, with a vowel sound E, then we can add only R to the comparative degree and ST to the superlative degree in case of degrees of comparison. If the positive word ends with the word or with the alphabet E, then we can change the positive to comparative by adding R, from comparative to superlative by adding ST. Okay, so here brave, because it ends with E, BRAVE, E. So it will be braver, ER, bravest, BRAVEST, because it is ending with E. So we will only add R to comparative and only ST to superlative. Okay, so brave, braver, bravest, large, larger, largest, wise, wiser, wisest, fine, finer, finest. So this is when the word ends with E, we can use, in case of comparison, we will use R, and in case of superlative, we can use only ST to show the degrees of comparison. Okay? Okay. Now, next rule is, if the positive degrees ends in Y. What is Y? Y is a consonant. Now, if the positive degree ends in Y and that Y has a consonant before it, if the Y has a consonant before it, for example, happy, 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 happy. Now, happy P is a consonant. If before Y there is a consonant, and then we can change the positive degree to comparative degree by deducting or by removing this Y and adding I to it and adding ER. So we can make happy. When we are saying happy, we will remove. When we are making comparative degree, we are changing this positive into comparative degree. then here we can remove Y and we can add IER. Then the comparative degree will be happier. And if we are changing this comparative degree to the superlative degrees, then we are adding EST to the alphabet I. So it will be happiest, happy, happier, happiest. So remember, if Y has got a consonant, if the positive degree ends with Y and there is again a consonant before the Y, then the positive degree will change into comparative degree by removing Y into I and adding ER to it. So it will be happy, happier, and if you want to change that comparative degree to superlative again, then in that case, we can add EST to the alphabet I to make it superlative. So it will become happy, happier, happiest, heavy, heavier, heaviest. So if when there is a consonant before the alphabet Y, we can just remove that Y, simply add instead of Y we can use I and add ER to make it comparative to and add EST to make it superlative to the alphabet I. Complete? Now, but children, if the Y before Y there is a vowel, if before Y there is a vowel, then we will not change the degrees of comparison. The comparison of degree will remain as it is. Happy will remain, if there is a vowel before the word Y, then we are not going to change the word, rather it will be left alone. So there are some words which do not have any degrees of comparison because there is a vowel before the word, before the alphabet Y. And if there is a vowel, we will not change the word, it will be left all alone. So there will be no changes. Now, moving down to the next rule, sometimes you see the last letter of the positive comparison is doubled. Doubled in the sense there is two alphabets together. It ends with two alphabets together. For example, then we can add ER and EST to make it comparative and superlative. For example, big. Now, it is a positive word, positive degree. Now, from positive degrees to comparative, we can do bigger because it is being doubled, BIGGER, bigger. So we can add ER to the word big to make it bigger. Now we can add EST to make it superlative degree and then it will be biggest, big, bigger, biggest. Okay, fat, fatter, fattest. Okay, because there the alphabet is doubled. There is a double T, there is double G, and hot, hotter, hottest. Again, there is double T, hot, hotter, hottest. So in that case, we are adding ER and EST, and we are adding the same alphabet T, G, or say T. So we are doubling the alphabet and we are adding ER and EST to make it comparative and superlative of the positive degrees of comparison. Now next rule is, children, most of the adjectives have two syllables. Two syllables in the sense, what is a syllable? When we divide the word, while pronouncing the words, we divide the word into two parts. We divide one word into two parts while pronouncing it, and so that it will be easier for you to pronounce. In that case, that is called a syllable. Syllable, in middle of the word, you are putting a slash. So we are dividing the word into two parts. That is called syllable, right? Now, most adjectives have two syllables. In that case, we will use more in case of comparative and most in case of superlative, right? For example, if we are saying beautiful, beautiful has got a syllable, okay? It has got two syllables, beautiful, beautiful. Now, in that case, we will write the comparative degree will be more beautiful and the superlative degree of the beautiful will be most beautiful. She is the most beautiful of all. Okay, more beautiful, most beautiful. Again, if we say interesting, interesting, it is divided into two syllables. Interesting, then it will be more interesting, most interesting, right? There, because the word is divided into two syllables. Why is the word divided into two syllables? Because if you want to pronounce the word properly, then we divide the same word into two syllables using slashes, right? When we use slashes, it means that we are dividing. In most of the cases, children, in dictionaries, you can see that the words are being divided into slashes. It means that to pronounce the word properly, the word is being divided into slashes, syllables, that is called syllables, so that you can pronounce the word properly. And when the words is divided into two syllables, if the word has got two syllables, then the comparative to the positive degrees will be more and the superlative will be most. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Interesting, more interesting, most interesting. Okay, now there are again, the final rule is some adjectives do not follow any rules. There are some adjectives which do not follow any rules, but still there is the comparative and superlative degrees to it. Okay, for example, good, better, best. Never be at rest till your good is better and your better best. I guess you might have heard this poem, right? Good, better, best. Never be at rest till your good is better and your better best. So here there is a degrees of comparison. Good is a positive degree of comparison. What is the positive degree of comparison to the comparative degree? What is the comparative degree of good? Better. She is better than her. She is a good girl. But Seema is better than her. Again, if we come down to the superlative degree, it becomes best. Sheetal is the best one, right? And so it moves on, which do not follow any rules. These adjectives, they do not form any rules, but they still form a degrees of comparison. That is positive, comparative, and superlative. Okay, now bad, worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Little, less, least. Much, more, most. Much, more, most. Like we added more here, most here. Much, more, most. So this is called degree of comparison. As I told you, there are certain rules to follow the degree of comparison. Children, if you will pay attention to my video, listen carefully, pay attention to what I am saying, how am I explaining, what am I explaining, then it will be very easier for you to learn grammar. So children, please stick to my video and watch my video till the end. And if you can, you please subscribe. Those who haven't yet, then please subscribe, share and like my channel so that you children can learn more and more and more grammar. Thank you very much. Have a good day.